Peace, y'all. We're gonna get straight into today's topic. I'm wearing the color, the best green thing I can find, and I just thought it was interesting. As I was walking to the park, I seen this garden near us, and it's interesting that today we're talking about the earth elements. And by the time we finish this video, you guys will know if you're low in this element, if you're high in this element, why you want to balance this element out, and how you can balance this element out. So let's get straight into today's video. So earth element is interesting because we can actually see this one, right? I don't really mean like that, but it's actually like material, right? So when you look at earth, or you look at the grass or that tree, it's very colorful, very vibrant. It grows. It's, the bark of the tree is very dry. So earth can be dry, and like you can smell when you're in nature. You can smell gardens. You can taste it. You can feel it. You can hear it as you hear the sounds of the animals, sounds of cars, just everything just happening all together. That's nature for you. That's earth as well. So with the earth element, within spirituality, how this looks like is our ability to like ground our spiritual energy, because we can be all over the place. We can be a person who like experiences anxiety, or oops, thought the camera's gonna fall, but yes, we experience anxiety or just a lot of things disturbing our energy on the inside. So grounding practices helps us balance our spiritual energy. Yeah, so with that being said, I want to let you guys know some of the things you want to look for if you are a person who is low in your earth elements. And one of the first things I want to talk about was one of the first shadow work practices I was working on, which was procrastination. I know many of us struggle with this, where we have a project or we have homework, we either get it done last minute or we don't get it done at all, and we really just let time pass before we even get to it. So that is someone who really shouldn't lacks or is really low within the earth element. You can have a problem of really being productive throughout your day is something else too. Yeah, like getting your checklist, your to-do list, your plan list crossed off. You're a person who can really struggle with this. Also, when you're a really disorganized person, you just lack having things in order, this can really affect how you go about your day-to-day routine and your day-to-day life. So having this trait of being disorganized can be a person who is low in their element. So yeah, and also we spoke of grounding. So if you are a person who you find that your energy is always like, you feel ungrounded, scattered, kind of all over the place, you may need to be doing some grounding practices, which I'm going to talk about, to balance out your energy. So a person who's really like ungrounded can be another candidate. Yes, and then the last trait I'm going to speak about if you are low in your earth element is someone who kind of lacks having their diet, their like health together, like going to the doctors, keeping up with their hygiene. You can just lack keeping up with all that, or keeping up with your appointments, keeping up with your health, taking your vitamins, grooming yourself, taking care of yourself in the right way. Not that you need haircuts, but things that you really need. If there's dandruffs all over your hair and this is causing like sicknesses, you should be upkeeping with this, not having dirt in your nails from a whole bunch of years, just up maintaining your hygiene. Or if you're a person that lacks this, you can be very low, or you know, if you're like not healthy, not maintaining your diet, things that, you know, give you energy, things that keep going to your doctor and they're saying you have this problem, you got that problem. You even feel it when you're walking up the stairs. You're getting tired, you don't have the same energy no more because you're lacking taking care of yourself and eating the right things. So you can be a person who is lacking in your earth element. And if you are high in your earth element, this can look like a person who is so career focused. This person's a go-getter, they're very ambitious, which is very good, but like I said, everything in a balance. And let's say you're high in this, but you're lacking emotional, you're lacking, you know, spending time with your family, your loved ones, your friends. This can be creating a balance, because you're used to being at work, you're used to being the boss and being kind of cold depending on the situation, but then you lack that, you know, your sensitivity, you're lacking just that. So that can be someone who's like too high in their earth element. And let's say a person who they believe that they should have like their ritual and like maintaining their diet, but this is the person that doesn't believe like their spiritual hygiene. You know, they're only looking at or have developed their not physical, but their hygiene as far as, you know, taking their showers, doing their day-to-day everything, you know, taking their tea or whatever that they do every day to maintain, but then they lack having or in belief, because I like to look at that as the opposite. Like Virgo is the energy that is our diets, being consistent, but then the opposite of that is Pisces, which is having your spiritual ritual, because just because we can't see the spirit doesn't mean we don't have a spiritual energy, and that spiritual energy still needs a certain like you to acknowledge it and you to work on it in ways, or, you know, it still needs that hygiene. Some people can really lack that. They can just be very practical, very into what they see on the material level, but not what they see on the spiritual level. And another trait is someone who is like overly indulging, eating all the cakes and candies and all the sugars, and they lack having a diet, you know? That could be someone who's too into their earth element, you know, too much into the senses and overindulging and feeling and things that taste good and spending, but not having that balance of, you know, not taking it too far and just doing too much. So yeah, but we're gonna cover right now how we can balance out this energy if we are too low in the earth element. Some practices we can do. Right next to it is spending some time near a garden, attending your garden, attending your plants, because these are things that to see them grow, you have to attend to them and nurture them and care for them every day. So this energy of caring and taking and nurturing something is very earth energy, and just being on the earth and maintaining it, taking care of it, plucking the hair, you're really working with the earth element. And that's something that can get you really really connected to the earth element. That was the word I was looking for. And then another way you can get connected is doing what I'm doing right now, but actually putting, you know, being in nature, finding some grass or a pit where you can actually you get barefoot, take your socks off, and you get grounded. Put your feet in the soil, actually feel it and feel the energy, because the earth has its own like connection portals, and then you're receiving that on the soles of your feet, your soles, and that connection, it's very grounding. You can just sit, it's very grounding. You can hug a tree, it's a very grounding practice. These are just some of the things you can do while you're out in nature to connect to the earth element. And when you hug a tree, you actually are releasing negative energy, and the earth is helping like that protection. I like to look at the earth like, you know, like that father energy, you know. So yes, get connected to the trees, get connected to your plants, do all that. Yeah, visit a garden, sing to the plants, and water your plants, and fertilize your plants, take care of your plants, you know. Remove the dead stems. There's so much you can do just to connect when it comes to that. And another thing we can do is, hey birdies, another thing we can do is our vitamins and taking our supplements, supplements. Oh, I was supposed to bring my book, but we have supplements. Supplements are daily vitamins that we should take, because to be honest, with our diets that we have, we lose a lot of that nutrients, because some of us eat processed food, some of us, you know, we have that quick lifestyle, so we don't really get to cook our foods. And to be honest, if you do live in America, the soil is not as rich, so you're not really getting all your vitamins. So I think it's crucial, and I noticed the change when I started to take vitamins myself, how much different I feel. And you have to take it every day is when you feel it. You can't just take it one time. And when I started to take it every day, I noticed to feel the difference in my energy levels, and depending on the ones that I took, focus and concentration and just overall energy is on point. So yeah, just paying attention to that. That is crucial, as well as taking your vitamins, being on point with like your diet, your health, your doctor's appointments and things like that. Having like a hygiene ritual. Remember in my water video, I was talking about how some of us need a spiritual ritual if you're lacking in your water element, but your earth element, you want to make sure you have, and your hygiene rituals on point, like taking care of yourself, because no one's going to take care of you for you. And even for my ladies out there, when you take care of yourself on the outside, you feel good on the inside. So developing that beauty routine, my fellas, you too, developing that self-care routine where you are taking care of yourself. And earth is very much so about rituals, water and earth, because it's feminine energy. Feminine energy is very much so about rituals, because it's things you want to do on consistent basis to see results and to upkeep that energy. Spirituality is like, you can't just put a deity and, you know, do a certain ritual and expect to see results. Same thing with herbs. You can't just take an herb one time and expect the next day to be, you know, healed. Like, these are things that you have to develop, and over time, even these practices I'm saying, it's not just a one-shot thing. As I say in all my videos, it's something you want to do for at least 90 days, because it takes 90 days to build a habit. And yeah, you want to build these habits because, you know, they are life-changing. Another thing that we can do that's very life-changing, but is also connected to the earth element, is just coming down to earth, right? Some of us can be very, you know, be in our ego, or very much not a humble person, and sometimes that's okay to not be humble. You know, you're feeling good about yourself, you know, why the hell be humble? But sometimes, you know, that spirit of always being like that, we can lack that energy of coming down to earth and meeting people, you know, eye to eye, and seeing things at a way where it's kind of balanced, you know, and coming down to earth. Some of us can just realize we lack that energy. In a way, you can kind of exercise. The exercise you can do to help better this energy is saying gratitude, speaking gratitude to your loved ones, to your people that you're close to, or you can make a gratitude journal, keep a gratitude journal, and every day just write a few things that you're grateful for. Or maybe if you're not into writing, you can just say the 5 things that you're grateful for, and that helps to keep you in that energy of gratitude, and being thankful for just life and the things that you have, and where you're at, and all that good stuff, and the people that you're around. Yes. Yeah, so gratitude journal. Yes, and like I was saying with the diet and you maintaining like your herbs and your supplements, but like juicing, getting juices or fresh fruits, fresh veggies in your diet, because these are things that ultimately may keep us healthy, keep us alive, give us that energy. And earth is very connected to like these planting, you know, you can plant your earth, your vegetables, and eat them. That's very much connected to the earth element. So yes, then doing these things on a consistent basis is where you will see the benefits of it. Like I said, 90 days to create, 21 days to create a habit, but 90 days to create a lifestyle. And to ultimately do this, you have to do it on a consistent basis to see the rewards and the gifts of it. So yes, I hope you guys were able to get something out of this video. Understand if you're high and low in this element, and things and practices you can do to seek balance within this. You can stay tuned. I have my fire, water element that I'm going to put in the description box below, so those who are curious on how you can balance if you're too low in that. And then tomorrow I'll be doing my my air. Last but not least, I'll be doing my air element. I did fire, but actually I did not post it yet, so I have to post that video for you guys. And then those who are interested in booking a reading with me, you can do that at my website, which I also will put in the description box. Yes, right now I'm doing free readings for those who are interested in getting a reading, booking a reading with me. You can just let me know through my email, which will be on my website, which will be in the description box. Yeah, so I'll be giving free readings for the first 15 people, because I'm trying to get myself out there. I'm kind of new to this, not really new, but new to putting it out there. Like, I've been doing my own readings, but I actually do want to put my gifts out there, because I do feel like I can read energy and give you guys my intuitive guidance to help you guys with guidance, help you guys with your questions, help you guys with and things that you just have questions about. I feel like I can help you guys with that. So please, if you're interested, career, love, life, money, whatever thing it is, please let me know. I'm here. Again, I'll be leaving the link in my description, or you can let me know down in these comments. That's okay as well. And yeah, hit the subscribe button and send this to someone who can understand how they can balance out their earth elements. And I thank you guys for staying with me all this time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.